I struggle with binge eating, and I'm not talking about eating a whole bag of Doritos. I'm talking about multiple days of eating until failure. I keep thinking that I'm going to be satisfied after the next thing that I eat, but the bar for satisfaction just keeps getting pushed out further and further. This was a major problem for me in my 20s because I didn't understand how weight loss or weight gain worked, so I gained all the way up to 430 pounds. But recently I've been fortunate enough to lose over 200 pounds and keep it off. So I'm going to tell you what I do after I have one of those binges because I actually just finished one like 5 days ago. For context, my wife and I were on vacation celebrating our 10-year wedding anniversary, and we started at a theme park that had a bunch of crazy food. That kind of triggered me into a domino effect where I essentially said I'm gonna have no rules on this vacation and eat everything in sight. We maintained a pretty high activity level and even got a lift in while we were there, but that was not enough to stop my body from just swelling out of control. I got back from vacation, I was up 15 pounds on the scale, which was alarming, but you have to keep in mind that I've been here before many times. I didn't freak out, but I did tweak my diet a little bit to accelerate the process of shedding off that water. I lowered my daily carbohydrate intake to about 100 grams a day, which is lower than I would typically recommend for somebody my size dieting. However, that is going to start the process of drying you out. The other benefit of lowered carbohydrates is that you have more room for fats and proteins, which are more satiating, therefore allow me to eat a little bit less calories than I normally do. I didn't drop my calories super low, but my daily average was at about 2,400 when I normally diet on like 2,650 to 2,800 calories. And I wasn't that hungry because I was dieting on like 250 grams of protein and 100 grams of fat a day. Now, the major downside of lack of carbohydrates is less energy in the gym. So if you're gonna go that route, I would recommend only do it for a short amount of time to get the water off and time your carbs appropriately. Have maybe 20 to 50 grams of carbs right before you go to the gym and 20 to 50 grams of carbs after you get back from the gym to help you with the recovery. And by following that process, I have begun to shed off a lot of that water. Here's my weigh-ins for the week. You'll notice today is the first day I had a slight spike up, but I think that's just because my body has been shedding so much water that it's trying to pump the brakes. Stop it, we can't shed this much water. My guess is I'll be back down to my previous average weight of 225 by the end of the month. Which means that that 5-day trip off the rails has cost me like 2.5 to 3 weeks of progress. I'd say there's 2 lessons to learn here. Number 1, it is reversible. It's not permanent. Don't let it discourage you. You'll be fine. But number 2, it's not worth it. I had a lot of fun on this vacation, but I could have had just as much fun and not binged my absolute face off several times during the trip. I could have come back 5 pounds up on the scale, maybe 10, hey, 12, right? But 15 pounds, it's a little bit crazy, and there were several decisions that I made that I'm looking back on going, I wouldn't do that again. But with all that being said, if you're on a weight loss journey, I promise you can do this. I promise it's worth it. Good luck. I'm rooting for you.